Hi, everybody. This is actually a part two. It's kind of chilly out today, so I'm gonna have to make this quick. This is actually a part two of a review I already did on Access Unlimited, or All Access. Access Unlimited is the name of this book. It's telling you about this story. Like I said, unlimited access. Part, if you count the DC Marvel crossover, it's part three of that series. And Access is much like my character of the Contaminant, which I originally wanted to be owned by both DC and Marvel. Um, he's shared by both of them. I still think my character could easily beat him, but that's just my opinion. That's neither here nor there. Because all Access does in this book is open doors, amalgamate people, but we never see a true cost of amalgamating things. I mean, I liked this one the best, number two. Yeah, I had to check to see if that was correct. Number two, because you get to see the Days of Future Past world, which they kind of make reference to and in the one of the original Spider Boys. I keep saying the original because you never know. I doubt that that's ever going to happen now, but but there might be a crossover one of these days. They might make reference to Access in Justice League Avengers 2 if there ever is one. And in my story originally, I had it so the Spider Boy timeline, which had gotten erased, and the Flash holds his. I think it was the Flash. The Flash holds his um pats him on the back and says, "I'm so sorry," indicating that he was the only survivor of the amalgam timeline. But that was before finding out about this and the other books. It, it's been a wonderful hunt. If I ever we'll see what happens to the Contaminant, but if if I ever hear any other news on the Justice League Avengers 2, I might I might go back and re-release it just as fanfic on a site. Yeah, because that Red Robin chapter, the one I talked about in the previous video, definitely could happen. I mean, I think I killed Red Robin off in my fanfic, or in the original Justice League Avengers too. But I'd be willing to go back again once I'm done with my official story. It's been fun writing my own characters and growing past that, I guess. But it was also fun looking back, and this was this issue in particular, the one where the X-Men from Days of Future Past meet the Legion of Superheroes, was was refreshing to see. This was partially why I wanted a crossover between. I mean, I'm not gonna disagree with Comic Pops. I'd take a million of the second one over no crossovers anytime ever again. Yeah, and you could you could have they acknowledge Young Justice in the end, and in this book right here. Yeah, they acknowledge Young Justice, and Bart knows them, and they could have like further of that timeline, because you all know, if if you've been tuned into my channel long enough, that I'm a big fan of Bart Allen as the Flash, and think that he wasn't given a fair shake. But they could acknowledge that and be like, hey, blah blah blah, I remember you. And they've done stuff with the old X-Men, the 1970s X-Men, since then. So they could have that be how the timeline changes as well. Just spitballing. But yeah, I mean, there were definitely parts I didn't like, but overall it's a definite three, because it wasn't horrible. It wasn't a one or a two. I mean, I didn't like the fusion of Angel and Robin, but do I want to see his world develop more? Yeah, sure. Would I like all the Marvel DC crossovers to eventually be tied in with one another? Oh, absolutely. Would I like an explanation what happened to his other girlfriend? Yeah, yeah, I would. People don't just vanish. But like I said, I don't believe now that AT&T owns DC, uh, and Marvel's owned by Disney. You know, the odds of it actually happening, us ever seeing Access again. I mean, it was a nice message to leave the readers on. Don't be a bum. Yeah, get a life. That's what he essentially says. Don't just obsess over these. That's how I read it. But yeah, I I I do want. I'd appreciate if they did one without Access. I definitely would. Like I said, that was the original inspiration of the contaminant that could be shared, but yeah. But I'll talk about that some other time. Um, Yeah, time has just kept these out of the grasp of good readers because, well, I don't think I don't think a lot of people know about this. If if you knew about this originally, because let's face it, I didn't. I thought the story ended with the second one. Keep on calling that one. I keep wanting to call that one unlimited access, but it isn't. Um, that's my take on this one because Comic Pop didn't seem all that interested in doing a third one, and I believe if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. You know, you can't just sit on your hands and be like, oh, there my hands are. No, you gotta go out and do things. And you go out and do things. It's a beautiful day. Hopefully, it's not as cold where you are. But this was from the emergency pile. Next book will be either the Book of Giants or this. Yeah. Until next time, like I said in the last part of this, stay literate. Stay. Just because you're illiterate doesn't mean you have to be stupid. Keep reading comics, everybody. Wow, wow. I think that was a decent way to make my point. Yeah. Ma, help me close the thing out now, Ma. I told the people to keep reading comics, to stay smart, and that I would take a million of the second one over. It's okay.